This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(6:15 p.m.) This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dilini Gunawardena, assisted by Sanjay, and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. Landslide warnings are issued for 3 districts. The Prime Minister discusses early implementation of Lower Malwatu Hydro Solar Irrigation Project. Railway operations resume after trade unions call off strike. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that the SLTB can be turned into a profit-earning body within a year. The Inquiry Centre of the Colombo Harbour is opened. Foreign news. President Biden says raised human rights in India with Premier Modi. Sports. Asia Cup Super 4 blockbuster clash between Pakistan and India is currently underway. News in detail. The National Building Research Organisation has issued landslide early warnings to 3 districts due to the heavy rain prevailing in some parts of the island today. The NBRO has issued landslide early warnings level 1 to Kegaul, Ratnapura districts since the rainfall within the last 24 hours exceeded 100 millimeters. The NBRO has issued warning level 1 yellow alert for Baddegama, Alpitiya, Naguna Divisional Secretariat divisions in the Gaul district. In Kegaul district, Ruwanwella, Bulatkopitiya, Yatiyantota, Daraniyagala, Warakapala and Dehiyovita Divisional Secretariat divisions have been issued a first level landslide warning. In Ratnapura district, Kalawana, Kiriyalla, Ahaliyagoda, Ayagama, Kolonna, Palmadulla, Nivitigala, Kahawatta, Alapatha, Godakawela, Kuruvita and Ratnapura Divisional Secretariat divisions have been issued first-level alert notices. The pre-landslide warning will be effective until 4 p.m. tomorrow. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena discussed the possibility of early resumption of the Lower Malwatu Hydro Solar Electricity Irrigation Project as a public-private partnership project within foreign investments. The Chinese investors who built the Yarnoe Dam called the Prime Minister at the Temple Trees today to discuss the Prime Minister's proposal to install solar panels on Yarnoe Reservoir as the proposed Malwatu Reservoir to generate 100 megawatt electricity and irrigate 22,000 hectares of land in the Anuradhapura and Trincomalee districts. The proposed project costs will be $160 million and the first phase floating solar panels will be placed on Yarnoe Reservoir and generate 50 megawatt electricity that could be sold to the national grid. Once the Malwatu Reservoir is completed in 2 years, solar panels could be installed to add another 50 megawatts. In addition to that, Malwatu mini hydro system will generate 1.6 megawatts. The train strike launched earlier today has been called off following a discussion between the relevant trade unions and authorities. It was noted that the strike was launched over several key demands, including amendments to the recruitment process and promotions. Earlier today, Shanti workers at the Colombo railway yards launched a trade union action disrupting several train operations. Consequently, 6 trains scheduled to be operated had to be cancelled and some others were delayed. The trains scheduled to be operated this evening and night may be delayed or other scheduled times may change. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that the Sri Lanka Transport Board can be turned into a profit-earning body within a year if everyone joins hands to develop it. The minister noted these views at a discussion with the trade union leaders of the SLTB held at the ministry today. The main issue faced by the SLTB is not receiving the whole income earned from the public daily. Accordingly, SLTB faces approximately a loss of 10 million rupees daily. The e-ticketing method will be introduced in the near future in order to overcome this issue. The minister expressed hope that all depots will earn profits once this program will be introduced. An annual profit of 7,000 million rupees can be expected from the SLTB. A portion of this income could be used to introduce an insurance scheme for the employees of the SLTB. The Inquiry Centre of the Colombo Harbour was opened by Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva this morning. The aim of this centre is to facilitate the local and foreign clients to obtain information on the Colombo Harbour and the services offered by it. The public can obtain the necessary information in this regard from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. each weekday via the hotline number 1984. This will be very useful to the shipping agents and the workers of the export-import field. And that ends local news for now.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Minister Pavitra Vanniyaraju says that arrangements will be made to restore 25,000 acres of land acquired by the Department of Wildlife and Forest Resource Conservation to the farmers. She expressed these views at a discussion held with the farmers of the Moragala districts recently. Accordingly, each farmer will receive a land of 5 acres. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight this evening. As per the National Dengue Control Unit NDCU, nearly 900 novel dengue cases have been reported within the first 10 days of September. Accordingly, NDCU Director Dr. Nalin Aryaratna warned, albeit recent decrease in the number of dengue cases being recorded, the ongoing inclement weather is likely to increase the dengue mosquito population owing to the increased number of potential breeding sites. Speaking further in this regard at a media briefing held in Colombo, Dr. Aryaratna revealed that the Western Province accounts for nearly 50% of the new cases recorded in September. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
It's the power to live life your way. The power to be a trendsetter. Power to you with digital banking from Commercial Bank. Commercial Bank. Our interest is in you.
World News headlines. President Biden says raised human rights in India with Premier Modi. Rescuers raised to find survivors of the earthquake in Morocco. And Kremlin confirms that North Korean leader is to meet the Russian president. US President Joe Biden has said that he raised issues of human rights in India and the importance of a free press with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Delhi. Mr. Biden was in Indian capital to attend the G20 summit. He also held a bilateral meeting with Mr. Modi. Mr. Biden made the remarks at a press conference in Hanoi, where he said he had substantial discussions with Mr. Modi about continuing to strengthen the India-US relationship. The US President left India on Sunday before the summit ended to travel to Vietnam. Rescuers face a narrowing window to save any survivors from the rubble of devastated villages in Morocco's Atlas Mountains 3 days after the country's strongest ever earthquake. The magnitude 6.8 quake that struck late on Friday southwest of the city of Marrakesh has killed more than 2,100 people and injured more than 2,400, many seriously, according to official figures. Roberts says it had accepted aid offers from Qatar, Spain, and the UAE and the UK to send search and rescue teams. The Kremlin confirmed today North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will visit Russia in the coming days, after receiving an invitation from Russian President Vladimir Putin. Speculation had been mounting that Kim, who rarely leaves his country and had not travelled since the coronavirus pandemic, would meet Putin to discuss potential arms deals. The Kremlin said the North Korean leader will pay an official visit to Russia at the invitation of Russian President Vladimir Putin. South Korean and Russian media had reported earlier today that Kim had likely departed for the Russian Pacific port of Vladivostok. Back to the headlines of the world news. President Biden says raised human rights in India with Premier Modi. Rescuers raised to find survivors of the earthquake in Morocco. And Kremlin confirms that the North Korean leader is to meet the Russian president. That ends world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
This message is for all the kids between the ages of 4 and 16 who love to draw. Commercial Bank's Arunalu Sittam is back once again. This time, the competition is also open to Sri Lankan kids currently living abroad. First, second and third place prizes will be awarded along with special merit and merit certificates. For more information, visit the Commercial Bank website. We have so many prizes to be won.
Chief Executive Officer of the Colombo Stocks Exchange, Mr. Rajiva Bandaranaike, emphasized that the concept on capital market clubs for schools in a future investment. While participating in a program produced by the Presidential Media Division, he added that plans are underway to introduce the stock market to students more formally through this program. In the first phase of this program, 100 capital market associations will be established in 100 selected schools. And that was development news. On to sports news, it's cricket. Kane Williamson has been included in the New Zealand squad for the Cricket World Cup in India after winning the race to prove his fitness. The 33-year-old has not played since rupturing the anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee in March. Williamson's inclusion means there is no place for Finn Allen. Test captain Tim Southey is due to play in a fourth 50-overs World Cup, as is Williamson. Both were involved when India last hosted the tournament in 2011. Still on cricket, Pakistan and India resumed their rain-disrupted Asia Cup Super 4 blockbuster clash at R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. Pakistan won the toss and invited India to bat first. India batted first on Sunday and racked up 147 for 2 in 24.1 overs until rain forced them off. India had scored 280 runs for 2 wickets at the end of 43 overs short while ago. Shubman Gill scored 58 runs while Rohit Sharma scored 56 runs. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Alumex PLC has partnered with the Mechanical Engineering Department of the University of Moratuwa, co-champion Sri Lanka's inaugural Formula Electric car, as the material sponsor at the Exmo 2023 exhibition, which is the university's flagship engineering exhibition. The endeavour is closely aligned with the company's commitment to environmental, social and governance principles, demonstrating its dedication to upholding stringent sustainability and ethnic benchmarks. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. Agriculture Minister Mahinda Amarweera says that steps will be taken to pay compensation to farmers for the paddy fields damaged by the rain. Accordingly, Minister Amarweera has said that he has instructed the officials of the Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board to provide proper compensation to the farmers who have suffered crop damage due to the rain as well as drought. Relevant information is being collected by the officials, and that was economic news.
Weather report.
Showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragama and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Matra districts. Fairly heavy showers, about 50 millimeters, are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Putlam, Galle and Matra districts. A few showers may occur in the Anuradhapura and Hambantota districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Batiklo Ampara district during the evening or night. Fairly strong winds, about 40 to 45 kilometers per hour, can be expected at times in the western slopes of the Central Hills, northern, north-central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. That was the weather report, and prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. Landslide warnings are issued for 3 districts. The Prime Minister discusses early implementation of the Lower Malwatu Hydro Solar Irrigation Project. Railway operations resume after trade unions call off strike. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardene says that the SLTB can be turned into a profit-earning body within a year. The Inquiry Centre of the Colombo Harbour is opened. Foreign news, President Biden says, raised human rights in India with Premier Modi. Sports, Asia Cup Super 4 blockbuster clash between Pakistan and India is currently underway. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.